this past weekend, my wife and I and my sister-in-law stayed in Washington, D.C. You know, I live in the area, but I'm stuck out here in the burbs. For various reasons, it made sense to rent a hotel room. It was my wife's birthday, so we went to a Nats game, etc., etc., etc. Checked out some cool local restaurants, and it was nice just being in the city. I love being in the city. I would love to not be stuck out here in the suburbs, but that is life as it currently stands. It was also free comic book day, and my wife and her sister were nice enough to indulge me and go around and pick some stuff up. Her sister also grabbed a couple of things for her husband who was not able to visit. So, I want to go through what I grabbed while we were there. First off was this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who is Night Watcher? I don't know. I have not been following TMNT at all. This is 25 years, which I'm assuming is 25 years at IDW. That would be my guess, or maybe that's IDW's 25 years. I don't know. I'll admit, I'm largely out of the comic book scene at this time. You know, I still read some, and I'm trying to go through and read some of my stuff that I've owned for a really long time, but I have not been actively following much out there. The last series that I was really, really into while it was currently coming out, I think was East of West. That, and I was reading Manifest Destiny, but I fell off both and haven't gotten back into either. And I do want to do that at some point. I want to get back into them. I'm not sure if either finished, if they're still ongoing. I mean, it's been years, so I'll have to take a look. Actually, I think some of these top ones were ones that my wife picked up. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Battle Quest Comics. No idea what this is. Featuring an exclusive Steel Siege story. I don't know what that means. The art's not bad. I'm not really into mechs, but, you know, I'll check it out. Tons of Strange, featuring Charles and Humphrey, the Oarsman, and Elizabeth's Tale. Okay, sure. No idea. From 10 Ton, apparently. I don't know anything about this whatsoever. My wife's not a big comic reader at all, and so I think if it was mildly interesting and I pointed to it, she just grabbed it and figured we'd check them out as is. And I know she grabbed a couple of things to give to her sister's class. So let's see. Archie Horror presents The Cursed Library Prelude. Okay. I read some of the Archie Horror recently. It was all right. I never understood Archie. I didn't understand its endurance. I don't really get the Archie universe. I never watched any of the relatively recent Archie comics shows. You know, I don't even remember what the Sabrina, any of that stuff. I didn't watch any of those. So I don't know. Don't really know anything about the Archie universe, generally speaking, beyond what you can't avoid in pop culture, or you couldn't when pop culture was still something shared, as opposed to now it's sort of ultra-factionalized internet silos that pop culture has become. Exciting to me is some Hellboy. I love Mignola's Hellboy. It's one of the things that got me into reading comics. I love it. It looks like there's some Stranger Things in here. Okay, sure. I'll take a look at this. But yeah, I love Hellboy, and I'll probably give this a gander. This looks vaguely familiar. I don't know if maybe this is a repeat of something, but whatever the case, I'll take a look at it, and maybe it'll get passed on to somebody. Hopefully spark love for Hellboy and somebody else. Conan, this is the Titan. So, gosh, I don't know what's going on with Conan, really. So, Marvel used to have it. I don't really particularly love a lot of what Marvel was doing with it. Dark Horse got it, started out super strong, and then kind of petered out, and then they lost it. Marvel got it back. People said the Marvel version of it was pretty good, but they barely had it. I don't know if they had it for more than a year or two, and then they lost it, and Titan picked it up. And the same sort of things happening in the tabletop role-playing industry. I don't understand what's happening there either. I don't know if it's like the licensing people who have Conan and just don't know how to handle it or don't know how to make business deals. I don't know what the deal is. But I mean, it's very frustrating that in the role-playing sphere, the Modifius version of Conan was seemingly very popular, got lots of good reviews. I have a bunch of the stuff. They did really fine work with it, and then just lost the license. And I don't even know if anybody has the license now, but I'm going to be honest, I don't kind of care if anybody has the license now, because I don't see myself buying another Conan role-playing game, so continually hopping companies doesn't seem like a very good idea to me, and that's what they've done again. Now, I have heard positive things about Titan Comics handling this. I don't know. I mean, at least he's wearing pants. I'm always a little bit wary of the Conan in a loincloth thing, because it's just, to me, that's so Marvel Comics and doesn't really fit. It fits the Frazetta cover art, and that's wonderful as cover art, but as far as actually reading Conan, he's not going to be in the snowy wastes wearing a loincloth. That's just stupid. Anyway, we'll see. I'll take a look at it. I can't say I'm super excited about it, because it's just tough to continually restart with a new company every seemingly couple of years. Johnny Quest, it's a show that certainly has some problems when you look at it from a modern angle. However, I love the original Johnny Quest. Absolutely love it. I love this kind of adventure story. The art was gorgeous, and so I'll take a look at this. I don't know, if I don't know if my love of Johnny Quest translates outside of that first season of the cartoon. I don't know if it would necessarily translate into a comic, but I'll give it a look. I like super science and some weird stuff like that. Oh, and it looks like it's got some Thundercats in the back end of it. I never really liked the Thundercats. Didn't like He-Man, Thundercats, any of that sort of wave of toy commercial cartoons. The only one I really liked was G.I. Joe. It looks like we have Space Ghost, but like serious Space Ghost, which it's kind of hard to imagine him serious after all of the Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, that sort of thing. But anyway, so we have classic cartoons turned into comics. Okay. Atlas Comics Library. Atlas Comics sounds really familiar. Yeah, there's some kind of historic thing. Is this like proto-Marvel? I can't remember. Yes, pre-Marvel Atlas Comics. Okay, that did sound familiar. So, looks like we have some reprints of some old comics. I sometimes enjoy at least sampling some of these classic comics. A lot of times they're not very well done. Some of the art is great, but a lot of times the writing is clunky. And, I mean, this stuff doesn't look like it's written by Stan Lee, so at least it's got that going for it. Anyway. Oh gosh, is this Dennis the Menace? I think so. Or was there another kid that was basically... Oh, Pascal the Rascal. Okay, sure. Whatever. Maybe it's a joke on the other. I don't know. Kiss of Death, nice. I like horror comics. Sadly, they're why the Comics Code existed. All right, then we got Flash Gordon. I guess maybe I haven't talked that much about my love of Flash Gordon on here. I love the Flash Gordon serials, and I really like the old cartoon strip from the newspapers. So I'm always curious to see what people do with Flash Gordon. I feel like most of the versions of Flash Gordon I have seen since the early 80s film, which I do love, most of the other versions that I've seen lack a certain magic. They miss something. And that includes some of the other cartoons that have come along, or some of the cartoons that have come along since the 80s movie. That includes other comics that I've read more recently, and certainly other attempts like the TV show. They just seem to miss something of the magic of Flash Gordon. So I don't know. I'll take a look. I don't know who this comic book company is. I don't know anything about them. So we'll find out. And then, because you should always buy something, I picked up this Voyages. So I don't know anything about it, but Image puts out a lot of comics that I like, and I'm a sucker for science fiction. I just flipped a little bit, and I like the look of the art. It's a little on the kind of goofy side, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, and I do really like science fiction. So I figured I would give this a look, because I didn't see anything else. They didn't have later volumes of East of West, and they didn't have some other stuff that I was kind of eyeing up, but I saw this and decided to pick it up. While I was there, I figure if you are local, actually, you can take a look when this posts. I don't know. Some of these should still be possibly in your future when this video posts. That's my plan. I don't know if I said. I got this all at Fantom Comics. That's Fantom Comics in DC. Along with what we got, there were some extra little doodads, including stickers, a little Iron Man, a little Hawkeye, couple of poops, which now I'm kind of thinking I might use as like slimes in a like Dungeon Crawl Classics or something. We'll see. Got Loki, some Robot, different Loki, Drax, some version of Spider-Man. I don't know my Spider-Man, excuse me. Got Captain America, or I'm not sure if that's Captain or if that's Falcon, or if it's Falcon and, post or pre-Falcon being Captain America. Sticker. I don't know if this was a free one or if we paid for this one. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so that's what I got at Fantom Comics, my first stop. I will do a video for my second stop coming up. Anyway, free comic book day, first Saturday of May every year. If you have the opportunity, check out and support your local comic book shop. Always make sure you buy something while you're there. That may or may not be something expensive, but just make sure you buy something to help them out. That's sort of the point, to bring them in. And they have to pay for all these free comics. They're free to you, but they're not free to them. So, help out local businesses. All right, that's it for me for now. I'm going to go record the video for my second stop. Take care.